Justin's telling about the Charles Price Esquire article that was in Esquire magazine. You know, he rated this course in the top 5 in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty impressive. But then Golf Digest featured, not Golf Digest, Sports Illustrated featured the 13th hole. They had an aerial of the 13th hole on the centerfold. That wasn't on the cover. I thought it was on the cover, but it was on the centerfold. They had taken an aerial of it. Now, what's happened to that hole? Now, some of these holes have been changed, but the basic hole's the same. The bunker went all the way back to the tee. 20 yards off the tee. They changed that. 1, 2, trouble, number 12, I had trouble with that tree there. Damn thing kept dying on them, you know. And, anyway,
Hey Bob, number 9.
number 9.
The original design had water coming all the way in the front and the
No.
green pushed back.
No, never
I've
was.
seen diagrams.
No, never was. So that's basically been the same. They've changed the bunkering there a little bit, but no, water never came into play.
I heard that the water came all across, but the members couldn't afford to
No,
do that.
No, never did. Yeah.
The golf club was built.
One hole.
You met him. You met him.
I built this course in St. Louis. I'll tell you the story
So
of
when
it.
you look at this piece of land,
Well,
I mean, how do you do that?
first of all, you gotta rely on the architect. He's good. My theory is this: you're gonna do something, hire the best. Don't get in the road. Don't, you know, I oversee it, but whatever he says is gonna go. And that predict, you know, a lot of those old courses, I was telling somebody today, most of those architects never saw the land. They never stepped foot on the land. They were sent a topo of the land, and they designed the course, and then put it in the mail and sent it back to them for $25. That's the way they were designed. So that's why how these architects get all around the place. They didn't have highways. They didn't have they just had access to everything. That's how they do it. But most of the courses. They want me to say a few words about Charlie. Oh my God. I have to say, Charlie was my right arm. I'm going to say, because in the summertime, I had a place up in Harbor Spring, Michigan. So I was up there in the summertime because Jim Raymond, who's a member, talked me into going up there and joining Wequatonsi. So, and I left. We had no play back then. You know, we had 5, 6 players. Charlie could handle everything. I didn't have to worry about a damn thing. But anyway, Charlie had to borrow money from members. So, anyway, I'm trying to think. This gal went to Frank Rice, who was the president at the time. What is this? An employee borrowing members from her husband. And he said, we got to stop. That's no good. So anyway, so he comes to me and he said, Bob, I want Charlie out here. Oh shit, I can't. What am I going to do without Charlie? So I got to thinking, I went to the board, I said, let's do this. Everybody loves Charlie, he does a hell of a job. I said, let's have him write down who he owes money to, and we're going to pick it out of his wages. We'll take $100. So he puts it down, it was like $7,200. I looked at that sheet. I didn't see any of the big names on there. They really borrowed money from him. He had like $50 here, $70 there. But he didn't have Saigon and Gail Thomas, who was only a couple thousand. And so anyway, so I never said anything to the board. I wanted to get him paid off, and that was it. But Charlie was, you know, he was here, he worked on the grounds crew when it was built. And I got to tell you, Dick Wilson, he was out because I said he wasn't allowed in the clubhouse. He loved Milwaukee. I'll tell you that when a course in Florida was as good as this one. I played them all. He put that Milorganite out, and the next day the damn thing was green, looked like he painted the damn place. And it smelled like a sewage plant. You know, it came from the Milwaukee Sewage Company, that's why it's called Milorganite, and that's where it came from. But, anyway, the U.S. Ham, we had the U.S. Amateur here, which was two generals wound up.
Todd Weiler and,
No, Keith Compton and, Keith Compton. I'm thinking of Bob Klein. They're both generals, both of them were 3-star generals, they were big. They wound up, and he put it, Compton wanted it. And he never looked at the ball, he looked at the ball. And he was a pretty good friend of mine. He was in St. Louis. He was the head of the Military Airlift Command, which is the biggest command in the Air Force. And I'm playing with him one day, and he always had his aide with him, this colonel. And he gets a call from the Pentagon. And what happened, they let him know that they'd hired somebody else as the head of the Air Force. And Jim Wilson said, I quit. That's it. I was ahead of him at West Point. I've done a hell of a lot more than he's ever done. I quit. I said, General, you can't quit. Christ, you got to have F-15 command. You got a plane like Air Force One, you know, a command plane that he flew around the world in. All mahogany on the inside and all that shit. I said, you got the life of the ride. Christ, you got AIDS taken care of. I don't give a shit. He said, I'm going to quit. I'm going to join Thunderbird. I said, well, I don't think you'll get in Thunderbird. So, lo and behold, I'm out there about 3 years ago. And that's where I worked for Claude out there. My days sometimes in the wintertime. There's his name up on the board, won a club championship. He didn't play here in that amateur. He wasn't here, it was the other general. There were two, all Air Force generals. Compton, John Klein. Compton won it. Yeah. Oh my God, Ben Hogan. That's another story. Ben Hogan played here. He loved Pine Tree. He thought it was great. And he was not one to sing praises on anything. His forte. So anyway, so one day Sam comes in. He says, Bob, get Ben Hogan on the phone. I said, you know his number? No, he's out there in Texas someplace. I said, well, I'll try the Ben Hogan Company and see what happens. So I called Ben Hogan Company. I said, Ben Hogan, please. Hello, this is Ben. I said, Ben, Bob Ross. Oh my God, how's everything at Pine Tree? He loved Pine Tree. And he put a nice note out here on the board and somebody it disappeared. I don't know what the hell ever happened to it. But anyway, but he thought Pine Tree is the best flat course in the United States. He said, I got a friend of yours here who wants to talk to you. He said, who's that? He said, Sam Snead. He said, put him on. What had happened? Off Digest had offered him, Sam Snead, and Byron Nelson $25,000 to sit down with the editors of Digest and talk about the golf swing. And Ben would not do it. And so Sam was pissed. He wasn't going to let that $25,000 slip away. So I could only hear his end of the conversation. And I heard Sam tell him, he said, you know, Hogan said he wasn't going to leave Texas. He was a little up in years. And anyway, so he wouldn't do it. I got to tell you a couple things about golf clubs. I played for McGregor, and back then I had two companies. And our head of our staff was a guy named Tony Penna. And Tony Penna started a golf company up here in Jupiter. Anyway, so he asked me to be on his staff. I did. He had Tom Kite was the only tour player, and about 3 or 4 other guys. So he said, Bob, I got to tell you something. Those pros think they know a lot. They don't know shit. I said, what are you talking about? He said, all those years I'm in charge of the staff. He said, you take Tony, I need a new set of irons, I need a new driver, I want a new putter, I need gloves, I need a new shaft in this driver. So Ben says, Tony, I want that new True Temper 321 shaft in that driver. So he said, I take it. Next day, ooh, what a dick. Oh, how's it? He said, I never changed the goddamn shafts. He said, I had the labels for every shaft I ever made. Okay. But anyway, I do want to say this, you know, I knew most of the good players in the country at that time. Everybody wanted to come to Pine Tree. That was big stuff, boy, back then. There wasn't a good player in the United States that didn't know about Pine Tree, pro or amateur. Because it was the first course in Florida that was really a championship caliber. And so you've done a great job keeping it the way it is and getting it made, even making it better. Nice clubhouse with entrance, everything is better. I've been on the Golf Digest panel for 30 years. And I was,
Back in the top 100.
it should be, yes, it should.
Let's get back in the top.
I won one vote. There's about 20 guys on the committee. And I just retired from it because it's too goddamn expensive to be traveling all over the goddamn country. You know, when I was here, I could ride it off, but now they want to send me out to Bandon Dune. It's going to cost me $3,000 to get out there and back, you know, so I retired from it. But no, Pine Tree belongs up there. And I have to say this, that a lot of these guys on this panel are not real true golfers. They're there because they can afford to travel. That's why they're there. They're not available as much as most of you people do about golf courses. That's the way it is. But anyway, Pine Tree is right up there at the top. And I'm so proud to be part of it.
Barbara,
Barbara!